Hi everyone, this is Neil Wright here, also known as the Wax Whisperer. Thank you for joining me in my latest video. We have here a patient who travelled a fair distance actually to visit the clinic in order to have their right ear cleared, and they've been suffering for quite a while. They visited their GP who recommended sodium bicarbonate drops. But the patient just found that their symptoms are exacerbated after using them. They also developed a bit of otalgia, so earache, and they had a family member who visited me a couple of years ago, and they were very pleased with the treatment I provided, so the patient decided to book in. So you can see there's more lateral wax near to the entrance. It's quite mushy, and it's just actually blocked the suction probe there, so I've just installed some olive oil spray. And the reason why it's mushy is because sodium bicarbonate drops and hydrogen peroxide drops can both turn wax into more of a molten, liquid, mushy state. And in comparison, olive oil drops tends to bind the wax together. So there are differences between the different types of drops that you can purchase over the counter to soften earwax. No drops can actually dissolve earwax. Sodium bicarbonate and hydrogen peroxide drops can both break the wax down, but it's still in your ear. So if you've got a substantial amount of earwax, it may soften the wax. It may help some specialists to remove the wax, because a lot of specialists prefer patients use drops for a few days prior to attending. But for me, it can be counterproductive for this reason, because it's really mushy. So with sodium bicarbonate drops, the way it works is when sodium bicarbonate drops enters the ear, the sodium bicarbonate reacts with an acid which is released by bacteria that's feeding on the sebum. So sebum is an oily lipid secretion found not only in our ears but other parts of the body, for example our scalp. And sebum is made up of organic compounds such as cholesterol, squalenes, alcohols, long chains of saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. And the sebum is secreted by the sebaceous glands. So the sebaceous glands are connected to the hair follicles. So these hairs that you can see at the entrance of this patient's ear canal on the outer third. At the root, at the follicle level, you've got the sebaceous glands, and sebum is produced, and it travels up the stem of the hair strand to the tip, which is in the ear. So living on our skin that lines the ear canal is various healthy bacteria and fungi, and we call that the skin flora. So the skin on the ear canal has its very own ecosystem, and the bacteria living there actually feed off the sebum, and they then excrete a form of acid, a carboxylic acid, and sodium bicarbonate drops reacts with that acid, and when it does, sodium bicarbonate drops is converted into water, but also carbon dioxide. And during that transition phase from a liquid to a gas, you experience effervescence, so bubbling, foaming in the ear. And that mechanical bubbling, foaming effervescence is believed to break up the skin cells that form the majority of earwax. So earwax is made up of 3 ingredients: exfoliated dead skin cells in the ear, sebum, as I've just described, and cerumen. So cerumen is an oily sweat produced by the ceruminous glands, which are modified sweat glands, so modified apocrine glands, similar to the ones found under our armpits. So these 3 ingredients amalgamate to form earwax, and for the majority of us, 60% of earwax is dead skin. So this foaming, this effervescence, bubbling reaction, people can actually hear the drops fizz in the ear. That's believed to break up the skin cells. In addition, these dead skin cells are hydrophilic, so they absorb the water when sodium bicarbonate drops reacts with the carboxylic acid, and that causes these skin cells to swell and expand until eventually the membranes of the skin cells rupture, they burst open, again breaking down these skin cells. And that's why you get this very mushy, glutinous consistency of earwax. And it can also disturb the outer layer of the skin. You'll see once I remove this plug, at the entrance, on the floor of the entrance of the ear canal in particular, the skin is somewhat broken down. It's macerated, so the skin has absorbed the the water from the sodium bicarbonate drops swollen, expanded, and the membranes are broken. So we do remove that as well. So this patient initially said they hadn't been using cotton buds, but it was very apparent that they did because it was really, really impacted. And then they kind of said, yes, we did, but we're just swelling it in the ear. And they'd also recently been on holiday and they got water in the ear. So again, the water got absorbed by the wax plug, causing the skin cells to expand and swell, exacerbating their symptoms. So slowly but surely we're working this away, and this last bit was really impacted, and we can just see a hint of the eardrum appearing there at 6 o'clock. And at this stage the patient felt their otalgia, so ear pain, to be alleviated, and also they could hear significantly better already. So we're just going to get all this remaining wax out. So I'm just mopping up a bit near the entrance, and then the suction probe just got blocked there. I'm just going to peel this plug down from the top. So I think I bought a bit more oil, did I? No, I think I'm going to continue. So I'm just going to the roof, peeling this down and away from the canal wall and the eardrum, and then slowly but surely coming out, and you're going to see a big plug being extracted. Here we are. So the patient's eardrum, it's healthy, it's intact. Slight vascularis of the hammer bone, because it's slightly red, so that's just due to the impaction. That will all settle. So I'm just attached to the fine end. So the fine end is an extension to the normal Zollner suction probe. It's got a narrower internal diameter, which means it's less powerful, but it's also less noisy for the patient and less traumatic. So if we do come in contact with the canal wall, as we're working very closely here, it's less likely to cause trauma, abrase and cut into it. And similarly to the eardrum, it's less likely to cause trauma if we come in contact with it. So, but I think it kept getting blocked, so I might have to revert to the full Zollner suction probe. Yeah, so I just removed the fine end because it just wasn't, because this is quite soft and macerated. So I've just moved back to the Zollner, but again, I'm going to be really careful. We are on the cartilaginous portion here, but still, I don't want to abrase the ear canal, so I'm just hovering over, as you can see. The skin is coming away. I just peel as much as that was willing to come over. I wasn't trying to perform a complete skin peel of the entire canal because it just doesn't warrant it. It's just this macerated skin at the entrance. Some of the deeper skin has been protected by from the drops because of the wax plug, but this more lateral skin was exposed, and you can see it's a bit macerated. So I've just gone back to the fine end again. Again, just hovering over. And it's going to tear away the skin. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. So just going to take another look in the eardrum in a moment, just trying to suction out all this excess oil. This patient has definitely learnt their lesson. They're not going to use cotton buds anymore. They've assured me, and they're going to attend back in a year because this ear in particular has been blocked in the past. So that's the eardrum. I'm just going to also show you the left ear, which is fine. Just some healthy normal earwax at the entrance. That's the patient's eardrum. You can see it's not as red as their right side. That's that last plug that I removed. You can just see how dark and wet it was. Everything else got suctioned up the suction tube into the suction lining pack, so it's not visible to show you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Take care, keep well, and speak soon. Bye.